important that we address the matter of having a world-class facility. A facility that is befitting of the status of Ghana as a football powerhouse, if we still are. Okay? It is quite sad that today, when you watch a game from any of our match venues, and when I say our match venues, our national match venues, the pictures you see compared to what you see with other countries and their leagues and the kind of surfaces they play on, is nothing to write home about. Again, when you travel out to watch football games, and even before buying tickets, you look at the stadium map, you can tell that from wherever you might be sitting at that match venue, you can be able to see everything that is happening on the pitch live, uninterrupted. But sadly, when you come to Ghana, the story is never the same. When you come to Ghana, we cannot boast of a match venue worth talking about. The Accra Sports Stadium was opened somewhere in 1961. And there was a football match between Accra 11 and Kumasi 11 to officially inaugurate the facility somewhere in 1962. The Accra Sports Stadium has seen major renovation works. Major, when I say major, only once. That was prior to the Africa Cup of Nations in 2008. Okay. That was the only time the Accra Sports Stadium, post its opening, saw a major facelift. That was because we were hosting Africa's biggest mundial. Now, when it was time for us to host the women's AFCON, which we normally call WAFCON, we again saw some works being done in 2018 prior to that competition. So in terms of the facility being ultra-modern, in terms of the facility being state-of-the-art, in terms of the facility having modern architecture, ladies and gentlemen, all of those elements are missing. The Bulgarian who designed this Accra Sports Stadium, what's his name? Alexander Barov. Long ago, he designed this thing long ago in the late 50s. That was when he designed this facility. Today, we have seen improved match venues with improved architecture, with modern designs. But ladies and gentlemen, the good people of Ghana are still dealing with the 1950 design. The 1950 design for the Accra Sports Stadium is still what we are waxing lyrical about. It's still what we are describing as the nation's Wembley. The nation's Wembley. When those who built Wembley hear what we say about Accra Sports Stadium, they'll be disappointed. Mentioning Wembley and Accra Sports Stadium in the same sentence. You see, today I've come in peace. I've come in peace today. And I want to visit one story that came out yesterday from the inspection, the NSA, the Ghana Sports Fund, and some government representatives. The inspection they did at the Accra Sports Stadium and the outcome of the inspection. Nathan, do you know that yesterday, when they went on the tour, there were concerns about the dressing room of the referees.
Yeah, I saw that.
They said the referees didn't have a place where they would have their physiotherapy session. They didn't have washrooms in their dressing room. That is an architectural problem. They said the match commissioner's office needed to be close to the referee's office or the referee's dressing room. And they needed a certain glass partition for them to be able to see what's happening on the pitch. Again, it's an architectural problem. Then they said, oh, the tunnel, the players get suffocated in the tunnel. It's not as wide per FIFA standards or per the specifications of a modern stadium. The long and short of all of that is that the Accra Sports Stadium, in its current state, shape, and form, is not up to modern standards and modern requirements of the game. The NSA board chair, my good friend, Professor, good morning to you, Professor Fred Awa, after the inspection, told the good people of Ghana that the Accra Sports Stadium is a death trap. Nathan, what is the meaning of death trap?
Death trap.
What is the meaning of? You see, when they say a facility is a death trap, what does it mean? Nathan, help me. You see, I want you to help me understand. When they say a facility is a death trap, what does it mean?
Okay, so when we say that something is a death trap, let me just get that for you. Okay, when we say something is a death trap, basically means that a structure, or defined as a structure place situation that is extremely dangerous and carries an imminent risk of death or serious injury.
Nathan, take that again.
So a death trap is defined as a structure, place, or situation that is extremely dangerous and carries an imminent risk of death or serious injury. Imminent meaning close.
Nathan, you see, I am not saying this. Professor Fred Awa was part of the inspectors. After the inspection, quote, that's just a death trap. You never know when the entire place will collapse. Maybe with a big population, where we will have another disaster. Nathan, let me take it again. You see, these are not my words. These are the words of Professor Fred Awa. He says, that's just a death trap. You never know when the entire place will collapse. Maybe with a big population, where we will have another disaster. Again, if we had our own way, we would have pulled down the infrastructure for a new one to be underway. These are the quotes, or these are the words of Professor Fred Awa, who is the board chair of the NSA. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing is clear from this message. If you have plans of going to watch any football game at the Accra Sports Stadium, just know that when you take a seat in that edifice, in that facility, you are sitting on a ticking time bomb, because they say it's a death trap. So those who are managing the facility, Nathan, you see me, I'm not the one saying it. Those who are looking after the facility say it is a death trap. So me, I'll not advise anybody to go and watch any football game. So if the FA know that it's a death trap, immediately the approval they've given the facility to host Ghana Premier League matches, they should withdraw it. They say it is a death trap. So nobody should go there.
And that's the board chair of the NSA.
That's the board chair of the NSA. You see, it now brings me to the problem of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, is it that we are obsessed with the 1961 facility? Or is it that it is a part of Ghana's history that we don't want to go away? Or is it that we have just decided not to find a way to modernize that facility? I want to ask the leaders today. Is it that we've become emotionally attached to the Accra Sports Stadium in its current shape, state, and form? Is that the case? Or we don't have money to bring it down and build a new one? or we have just decided to be throwing money at renovation works, giving it a facelift, welding works here and there. Is that what we want to continue doing as a nation? I think that it is important that we sit down as a nation and decide that, looking at where we are in terms of football, our achievements in the sport, and how we are recognized internationally as one of the powerhouses in Africa, we should have a structure that is befitting. We should have a structure that is worth talking about as the Ghana Sports Stadium or the Accra Sports Stadium, or a stadium that has ultra-modern features. A stadium that every Ghanaian will be proud of. So that when we say we are going to watch matches, you are even excited to go to the match venue because of the facility you are going to sit in. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot be proud of the Accra Sports Stadium. And we cannot continue throwing money at renovation works. A few weeks ago, we were told that under a certain government, somebody collected money to do renovation. The person ran away with the money.
Yeah.
Not so? Mm-hmm. Should we continue like this? When you go to the Accra Sports Stadium and you want to use the washroom, if you want to use the washroom at the Accra Sports Stadium, you must go with 4 nose masks. You must possibly enter the washroom with your eyes closed, because the kind of things you will see and the kind of things you smell, if you are not careful, you land at Ridge Hospital. It is an eyesore. You would not want to use any facility at the Accra Sports Stadium on match day if you have issues with your bladder. Number 2 is even worse. So, ladies and gentlemen, if our leaders are concerned, if successive governments are really interested in uplifting the standard of our facilities, Accra Sports Stadium, Kumasi Sports Stadium should be the first to go. Nathan, bring both facilities down. Bring both facilities down and start a new one. The other time, our good friend Kawawa was in Rwanda. Mm-hmm. And then he brought us pictures of the Amahoro Stadium.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Rwanda. It's not Rwanda that went to war and came back.
Yeah.
Go and look at the Amahoro Stadium. How much did they spend on it? $165 million to bring the Amahoro Stadium back to life. Anybody who has seen that facility should come and tell me that it is not worth talking about. And there are many more. Nathan, when you go to Morocco, you have been to Morocco. Mm-hmm. You have seen match venues. Wait, when you see those match venues and you come to Ghana, do we have match venues here in Ghana? No. And we are saying that, look, instead of the politician coming to tell us that he's going to put up 10 mini stadia across the country in regions that don't have sports stadiums and all, your primary focus should be bringing down that Accra Sports Stadium and building a new one. It is not about the number. You see, Nathan, it's not about the number of match venues we have, but the quality of match venues we have is very important. Who is proud of the Accra Sports Stadium today? Who is proud of the Kumasi Sports Stadium today? Even Legon Sports Stadium. Nathan, when it's raining, everybody's soaked.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen the state of the playing surface today? The University of Ghana Stadium. Yesterday I was watching a game. It was almost as if they were playing on brown grass. Not even the camera tricks, not even the filters could change the color of the pitch to green. We cannot continue like this. So today as we speak, I am sure the NSA has put together a budget to go and give to the state for renovation works. We cannot continue renovating the Accra Sports Stadium. To whom it may concern, the NSA, we know they don't have money to pull it down and build a new one. We know. But as a matter of urgency, if any government wants to leave a legacy in sports and they'll leave power and will still be referring to the Accra Sports Stadium in its current state and shape as the nation's Wembley. Then all of us will be disappointed. All of us will be disappointed. Any government that is interested in leaving a proper sports legacy should look at Esipon, should look at Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium, should look at Kumasi Sports Stadium and Accra Sports Stadium and find a way to make sure those facilities become state of the art, ultra modern. That is one way of bringing back the love. So if the Black Stars are playing there and we risk our lives in our numbers to go to the Accra Sports Stadium, it is a death trap. Do you want to put your people through another disaster? Nathan, are we interested in bringing in rescue teams from Israel and Korea and Japan?
We shouldn't at all.
To come and rescue people after another disaster at the Accra Sports Stadium? We must be serious. We must be serious. And it's high time the politics stopped. It's high time we stop the politics. Pull down the Accra Sports Stadium. If possible, pull down the Kumasi Sports Stadium. Let's have new facilities. That will be the biggest legacy any government will leave for sports here in Ghana, will leave for football here in Ghana. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue to have this facility in this current state and be proud of ourselves that we have a national facility we're talking about. On that time, we were in Boston. We were at the Gillette Stadium.
Yep.
The Gillette Stadium is not a new facility.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not a new facility, but it is top notch. We went to Philadelphia. The Philly Stadium is not a new facility. It wasn't built for the World Cup. But when you get to the Philly Stadium, you know that this is a facility that has been well built and well maintained. We went to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. We saw super facility. Nathan, it is not beyond us. This money that we want to put together to go and build 10 new stadium, 10 new mini stadium, I'm told it is around $70 million, right? Nathan, $70 million. For one, the TNA was around $70 million. So if that is the model, we are going to build 10.
Yeah.
Plus inflation buster, let us say $200 million. That is what we want to use to build
The 10.
all these facilities. Nathan, if we are concerned and are interested in having a proper facility, all that $200 million should be focused on demolishing that Accra Sports Stadium and building a new one before disaster strikes. In the words of the NSA board chair, it is a death trap. Those who have ears, let them listen. Those in government, those who are holding power, this is what we need. We do not need 10 new match venues. We need a proper match venue befitting of the nation's status as a football powerhouse. We cannot continue going to CAF to go and beg for them to allow us to use the Accra Sports Stadium to play Category A matches. Are we not tired? So Keto Kreku will have to now go to CAF and go and be begging. Nathan, we have to go and beg before CAF agreed to give us the facility to use. You see, me if I'm CAF, I have to pull the ears of Ghana hard. Ghana should go and play in Togo. Even Togo have a proper facility. It's not. It's Kego is supposed to.
Yes, Stade Kege.
Stade Kege. Yes. Thank you very much. Merci. When you go to our neighbors, Côte d'Ivoire, ladies and gentlemen, the match venues they have, the Ofe Boigny Stadium and Co.
Yeah.
Nathan, we are joking in this country. And that is the benefit of the AFCON they hosted. With the benefit of the AFCON we hosted, they are in ruins. Go and look at Esipon. Go and look at Aliu Mahama. Aliu Mahama, the other time I saw a septic tank car. That's how they call it. A septic car. Not at all Filoli. That's what I saw at Aliu Mahama. They were spraying the water on the grass. Look, Nathan, we cannot continue like this. Give the facilities an opportunity to attract people to the venues.
Yeah, that's true.
Me, I won't go to Accra Sports Stadium after hearing this. That is a death trap. Will you go? Oh no, me, I won't go. So this one, Nathan, we are appealing to government. Please, if you want to do anything about infrastructure, pull Accra Sports Stadium down and rebuild it. It's a very simple message this morning. Thank you very much.
They no need can do. The problems.
It is something they can do.
Problem solve, same time we be solution. The problems.
Oh, Nathan, if I'm lying, if I'm not correct, you can tell me. Point of interest. If I'm not correct, if I'm not right,
No.
Right.
Look, infrastructure when it comes to sports is the preserve of the state. It has to be the preserve of the state, right? So this is a no-brainer at all. We cannot have the two national stadia in terrible shape and not point fingers at the state. As for that one there, we have to. So if Professor Awar's own assessment is that the Accra Sports Stadium is a death trap, then government has to step in and do what it must do.
That's it.
You're not the only person to say this. Our senior colleague Godfred Akotoboa, for 4 years, he's even called for the demolition of the stadium. He says we need to build more. And it is true. You see, the other day, remember the story I read?
Yeah.
Ranking or looking at a tally of countries on the African continent with the most FIFA approved or CAF approved facilities. Morocco had how many? 16 of them.
Yes.
16. And we're even joking that Morocco can host the World Cup all by themselves. And it is very true. They can actually host the World Cup by themselves.
Yes.
Even if some of those facilities are not FIFA standard, what they will have to do is upgrade them. At least there is the base facility.
And
it's good enough, so it can be upgraded very quickly. But in Ghana, do we have any?
No.
We don't. We do not have a CAF standard A facility, a category 1 facility.
The one we use, we have to go and beg.
Every time we have played matches here, we've gone to beg. We have gone to beg for us to use those facilities.
To use the facility.
CAF gave us a long checklist for Baba Yara, I think, for the Accra Sports Stadium as well. We haven't followed any of them.
Do you know that Baba Yara, when we are coming to play here in Accra, we have to go and take some components from the Baba Yara scoreboard.
Yeah.
Come and fix here. We have to go and uproot. You see the pitch side seats. We have to go and uproot the one that Baba Yara bring to Accra.
Yep.
I do know we've done all that in the past.
Oh yes.
Just to have CAF approve the match venue.
Yeah.
Why? And then today, there's talk about going to build 10 new ones. 10 new ones for what? For politics? For the politics of it? That a certain political party came into power and delivered 10 mini stadiums? 10 mini stadiums? That is what we want to talk about. That is the look and feel. Yes, they built 10 new facilities. Somebody comes to power and says, I built 200 AstroTurfs. This is the politics we are interested in. But nobody is concerned about a befitting place for us to play our games without going to beg. As for those 10 match venues, we'll be waiting to see when they'll start. Action must be taken now. I mean, if I'm the NSA boss, or if I'm the NSA board chair, knowing very well that the Accra Sports Stadium is a death trap, I will not allow anybody to use the facility. That is the only good we'll be doing to the good people of Ghana. Don't allow anybody to use the facility. And Nathan, imagine that Shatawale concert at the Accra Sports Stadium. And something unfortunate happens.
Yeah.
My good friend Wanda Mandel, who is a Shatawale fan. By now, nobody knows what would have happened to him. It's a death trap. So Nathan, I rest my case for now. We'll deal with this matter on subsequent editions of the show.
Hello, Dosh. The problem.
Now, Nathan, there's another matter of infrastructure. And this time around, it has to do with horse racing. Now, if you can help me, I remember a few weeks ago we had the horse racing guys join us in studio. And they told us the plans they had with regards to horse racing in Ghana.
Yeah.
By then, they were hosting mini competitions at the Laboma Beach.
Yes, I remember that.
So we had conversations and even said, well, I mean, these are things we would have to look at in future and decide what we want to do with horse racing. Maybe a lot of people have forgotten what horse racing looked like or felt like in the past. And so it's an opportunity for us to look at the sport again and see how best we can help it grow. We know that the horse racing guys have their new race course at Boteman.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us were looking forward to the infrastructure getting to a certain level and possibly becoming one that is worth visiting for competitions like horse racing and the likes.
Yes. Yeah.
Only for us to be told on Saturday. In fact, I was there myself. You see, this one, nobody told me. I got a call that there was an operation at Boteman. There was a forceful takeover and demolition of the race course. I went there, and interestingly, the number of bulldozers I saw on the ground, I think if I'm not lying, there are about 8 bulldozers. It could be more.
About
But
8
I could count 8. There was also an excavator. You see, all of those facilities were there, demolishing the grounds, causing a lot of trouble. Now, yesterday, the Accra Turf Club held a press conference, raising concerns about the demolition, raising concerns about how some people are doing everything possible to kill horse racing and what they wish to do from this point on. Some interesting questions were answered and some calls were made to the president, to the lands minister, to the interior minister to deal with this matter as soon as possible. Now, when you read the statement of the Accra Turf Club, they tell us that 200 armed men, led by persons identifying themselves as Clement Jato, and another person referred to as Azuma, forcefully entered the premises of the Accra Racecourse. The group, accompanied by a number of policemen under the command of DSP Malaika, upon questioning, indicated that he is stationed at the police headquarters. The armed group entered the premises with 9 bulldozers. Yes, I'm correct. 1 excavator, and proceeded to undertake a total demolition of the Accra Racecourse facilities. They go on to list the things that were demolished at the venue. Now, Nathan, yesterday, they sought to tell their own story.
Yeah.
And tell us how everything happened and how they got to the point where all of these things have happened within a very short time. But Nathan, before we continue, one name was mentioned as being part of the officers leading the group of policemen who accompanied those who came to do the demolition exercise. DSP Malaika. I hear there's an update on DSP Malaika. If you can help me with that update, whilst I prepare the soundbite from the Accra Turf Club.
Okay.
Guys.
Well, a police statement came out on August 25, saying that police interdicts officer in connection with alleged demolition at Accra Racecourse Okay, now it says the police administration has interdicted DSP Mr. Alassane Malaika Jibril for his involvement in a demolition exercise at the Accra Racecourse at Borteman on Saturday, August 22. The interdiction is to facilitate investigations into the circumstances surrounding the incident. The Criminal Investigations Department, CID, and the Police Professional Standards Bureau, PPSB, are investigating the matter, and anyone found culpable will be taken through the due process of the law. Signed, Grace Ansa Akrofi, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Director General, Public Affairs. So that is the statement from the Ghana Police Service, a 3-sentence statement, and it highlights the fact that Officer Malaika, or DSP Mr. Alassane Malaika Jibril, has been interdicted for his involvement in the said demolition at Borteman last Saturday.
So, during the exercise, the Accra Theft Club called the closest police station, which was the Lakeside Police Station.
Yeah.
Now, when they came there, they confronted the team and identified some of the individuals there. Now, DSP Malaika confirmed to the policeman who came from the Lakeside Police Division that he was from the headquarters. Okay. Now, regardless of whatever happened, or regardless of whatever conversations happened, the police from the Lakeside Police Station could not stop them from going ahead with their operations. Okay. And so questions were asked as to whether DSP Malaika produced any evidence or any document or court order that gave them the power to embark on this demolition. When those questions were put to DSP Malaika, he could not provide any proper document or any court order authorizing them to go ahead with such an operation. So I'm sure the police service want to investigate the matter.
Of course.
I'm sure they want to get into the matter and get to the bottom of the development. And I'm sure that's why they've taken the first step to let Mr. Malaika DSP Malaika step aside whilst they do more investigations into the matter. But I've been to Borteman and I've been to the racecourse area. The truth of the matter is there's a lot of encroachment on the facility.
Okay.
There's a lot of encroachment on the facility. And I don't know what would be left of that facility if the activities of the encroachers continues. But we are joined on the line by the Secretary of the Accra Theft Club, Sam Newton, and he'll bring us up to speed on what's happened so far, what the press conference yesterday was about, and a few matters that he would share with us. Good morning, Mr. Newton, and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Yeah, good morning.
I hope you are doing well today, sir.
By God's grace.
Right, we are told you held a press conference yesterday to address matters arising, matters concerning the demolition of the Accra Racecourse at Borteman. Can you bring us up to speed on, everything that transpired yesterday and why you held that press conference?
Okay, thank you, and good morning to your choice business. So yesterday, we held a press conference to bring up to speed all that happened on Saturday, so that the entire country gets to know of what has transpired, steps that you are taking, and what we are requesting government to do immediately to safeguard horse racing as a unique sport. So we gathered and invited the press, members of the press, and then read out our press release, and then we took some questions and then answered them as well. I think by the time we were done, we cited a press release from the police here indicating that they've interdicted DSP Malaika and then taking him through lawful processes. So now this is where we've gotten to, and we're hoping other steps will be taken to clear off those still hanging around the property, and also to tax the main confusion hub of this whole matter, Lands Commission, to do the needful to avert further encroachment on the land. Because if you see the adjoining land, there's been a developer speedily going on with development, and that land belongs to us. And as we indicated in our press release and our interactions with the media, we realized that we were supposed to have granted 46.64 hectares. This is not acreage. Hectares that we need. If you convert the hectares into acreage, you run over 100 acreages of land. It spans through where now you find the high road, the high street that you are finding all over. So they will carve out each road out of our land. We don't have problem. But so the encroachment is spotted around the race course facility that you see. So, my brothers, this is where we are, and we'll be engaging with the relevant ministries from today and trying to see what can be done for us immediately, and also speed up prosecutions and then giving us back our property, and then the destruction that has been done should be tackled immediately, because horse racing can't die like that. They should erect the Accra Stadium that has been pulled down. They should erect paddock for horses, and then give us back our items that were destroyed. And I think rule of law permits us to ask for these things. So, my brothers, this is where we are.
Now, I want to ask you this. When you post the demolition, have you been able to identify the faces behind the demolition and why those who embarked on the demolition did what they did?
So, my brother, if we have to be truthful, ever since the risk was cited there, you could see that new development was springing up to the time, let's say, about 2 years ago, when that place became very, very prime. And it was shocking that government, in its own wisdom, saw the need to site the Baltimore Sports Complex just opposite the Accra race course. That should tell you that in their mind, they knew that citing the stadium where it is befits the area and its landscaping. So some of the comments that we've heard in certain circles are, oh, now the place has developed, so you have to take the race course. I said, how can you champion such an idea? If you want to take the race course for this out of that jurisdiction, because of this reason, then go and move the Baltimore Sports Complex from there. So if you deduce from all this, you could see that this is just a private interest that they want to champion. Because if you really want to relocate the race course, they're going to relocate the sports complex. If you're not going to relocate the sports complex, taking bulldozers there, grade down everything, and grade down the race course, then we know that, yes, this is a high-level thinking that has occasioned. And for that matter, all sports facilities around the Baltimore should be evicted and taken elsewhere. That makes a lot of reasoning. But to single-handedly take the race course out of that enclave and looking at the development movement around, that should tell you what the perpetrators, what the criminals, what the land grabbers are up to. And they are using people in authority to perpetrate that. So we are pleading to the first gentleman of the land to please intervene. And at this instance, I will say, I doff my hat to the president. I doff my hat to the IGP for making rule of law work in this country. Because from this incident that has happened, many people are now shivering in that enclave that, well, if this can be done to a whole Accra Sports Club, our race course, epitome of horse racing in Ghana, there are genuine Ghanaians who have legally acquired lands in that enclave. That means people of who will go on the folly of their own, grab all available land there, and what is going to become of Ghana state rule of law. So now, I have the same belief that rule of law has come to stay. And the IDP are making sure that the rule of law takes its rightful place.
Now, Mr. Newton, help us understand this. So that 46.46 hectares, is it a land that is titled, that has a land title in the name of Accra Turf Club, or it's still estate land?
Yes. So my brother, I'll take it back to history, not really history, but the arrangement that governments have with Accra Turf Club. Just as we've been reiterating, if you look at where Accra Conference Center is situated, where National Security is situated, where Kempinski Hotel is situated, that should give you an idea of what the race course used to be. If you go into the archives and pick up videos as far back as 1990s, you will see the edifice that was present in that enclave. And that should give you the idea of the land size. Fast forward, in going ahead to make the land swap, Lands Commission on its own went to court to plead with the court to give them the authority to carve out 46.64 hectares of land for the race course. That means they have gone to value and then surveyed the race course that used to exist at the National Conference Center and giving the same land size to Accra Chess Club at Washington. So, currently as we speak, go and check in the records, do a search, and you see the whole area where National Security is occupying, where National Conference Center is occupying, where Kempinski is occupying. There's a lease that exists in the name of Accra Chess Club, which hasn't expired. And government, the new government is a well-meaning government, wanted to do us right by swapping and doing everything possible to get documentation done. But up to today, even when they have gone to court and procured an order which was given to them to go and carve out this land size, the order was given by the current Chief Justice, who was then a High Court judge. And we have the suit, everything. And the Elegance Commission has all this. We have been on their neck for 2 years, and we currently we have had engagement with them. We don't know why they haven't affected our documents. So we are suspecting that yes, they'll delay us so that some of these things can occur. Other than that, how many years will it take to perfect documents of a swap? That government have pleaded with Accra Chess Club to see off, to get National Conference Center, to get National Security there, to get Kempinski, for whatever purpose it's meant for. So Accra Chess Club has been stabbed in the back. So we need the same government to come to our aid to ensure that who's taking all this problem and mess to do the rightful thing to avoid further encroachment on our property. So this is the history about this whole documentation. And Club can't go on its own to say you want the land title. We have applied. We have done everything on earth to procure the the land title to that land. Everything at all. If we don't even have documents, we have been there for 17 years. It wasn't an illegal occupation. Other than that, we can't stay there even for a second. The same government that gave us the land would have taken us out. So this is when we have the documentation issue, my brother.
Right. So I'm sure in the coming weeks, the plan is to engage all the major stakeholders to see how this issue can be resolved quickly. But for now, what are you doing with where are the horses now, and what do you intend to do in the coming days? What's the state of the facility now after the distraction?
Yeah, you should know the horse facility. Then they have is secure. Their own riding on the street around Guatemala because of this issue. They are not going to relent at all. They are going to use the whole enclave as a horse racing facility. And we are trying as much as possible to calm them down. So national security, the IGP, the first gentleman of the land, please intervene for us. And you know, a little bit of information about horses. Horses we see are run. And if you keep them in the stable, you keep them, feeding them somewhere along the line, you find them that they become gradually die. That's what happens to them. So the owners of the horses can't see their investment go down the drain. And to put the horse and to feed the horse is not a small joke. And what really saddens us is that just about some 2 years ago, when we had the ground for the World Cup, we had Togo come join us to raise for the ground of the World Cup. Now we've got interest coming from Nigeria as well to join us. So what does it tell you? We are pushing the name of Ghana through horse racing onto the high pedestal. So why would you do this to such a sport? That is really gaining grounds in the sub-region and pushing the name of Ghana high.
Right. Mr. Newton, we wish you all the best as you seek to restore.
Thank you. And we thank you all. We thank you all for the support. We thank you for the publicity. And we know we are doing this together and for Mother Ghana.
We wish you well, and we pray that this matter will be resolved as soon as possible. So we get back to horse racing. We get back to racing at Boteman, and hopefully we get a very big facility for the sport.
Thank you very much, my brother, for having me. Thank you, and have a good day.
You're welcome. And that was Mr. Sam Newton. He's the board secretary of the Accra Turf Club, bringing us up to speed on development and matters arising with regards to the demolition exercise that took place at the Accra Racecourse at Boteman. There was a forceful takeover and demolition of the Accra Racecourse last Saturday. Following that incident, the police officer who led the operation, DSP Malaika, has been interdicted by the Ghana Police Service, and I'm sure investigations will continue into the matter. It's a story that's developing, and so we'll keep you posted on how this matter eventually gets resolved, and we'll keep you updated on how the Accra Turf Club finally secure full ownership and full access of the facility. But you're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. This, as always, is Sporty Breakfast, and Sporty Breakfast is Ghana's #1 sports morning show. It's a pleasure to have you join us, and we're happy to have you share your morning with us. There are lots of matters we'll be talking about. There's still the Champions League draw coming up later today. We'll be talking about 4 pots. Which teams are in the 4 pots? We'll be bringing you up to speed on all of that. Tonight at 5 p.m. Would be the draw for this season's UEFA Champions League phase, and so you can rest assured that Sporty FM has you covered right from 5 p.m. till the end of the draw. And then, of course, we'll preview what the draw might look like, what won't happen in the course of the draw, which teams would meet each other, and all of that we'll be discussing on the show this morning. And also, we'll be getting into other matters on the transfer market, on the transfer front. Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. The standoff is on. Nathan, Atletico say no chance of selling Alvarez to FC Barcelona. So I hear today in Monaco, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid would meet. There will be meetings there today to see how best they can resolve this matter. And all of this, I feel for the player, I feel for the player. At worst, he might just have to, stay at Atletico. So, if you're a player and you're going to Atletico Madrid, just know that if you want to leave, they'll play hardball. So if you're signing those long contracts, you must be ready.
Yeah, I think it depends on I'll treat it on the case by case, right? So, players have left Atletico. Was it this cantankerous? We'll see. But talk about transfers, though. The word from transfer insider David Onstein is that Liverpool and PSG have reached an agreement in principle for Bradley Barcola.
Okay.
Now, the two clubs agreed terms of a proposed deal overnight for a package around £120 million overall, of which 100 million is guaranteed.
Barcola is a 60 million pound player.
You see, but PSG have given their price, not to
120 for Barcola.
It's the same thing, Ray. When we want, what do you call it? If you go to some places, boiled egg is 5 cedis. Some people sell it to 4 cedis. Our people here 3 CD 50.
3 for 10.
So it's so it's a price. If you want it, you pay for it.
If you have the money, you buy.
Thank you.
If you don't have the money, go home.
You go home. So that's the story coming from transfer insider David Ornstein, saying that Liverpool and PSG have agreed a deal in principle for Bradley Barcola, a package of £120 million, of which 100 million is guaranteed. And so they are putting things together so everything becomes formal, but they have a broad agreement in principle so that the player will move to Liverpool and continue his football career there. So that's the story coming in.
Right. Well, we'll talk a bit more on transfers in a bit. But Nathan, yesterday, the former chairman of Accra Sports, champion chairman, they call him, Millennium Chairman, right? That's the name. The meat pie chairman.
How do you mean the meat pie chairman?
The bus stop chairman. Harry Zako. He was on the show with the Dynamite.
Yes, he was.
Yesterday, I missed that interview. The Dynamite, Fifi Bansi. And the Dynamite asked him a very important question. You remember post their CAF Champions League win when they dominated the whole of Africa? Players years after said, look, they were not properly rewarded post that competition. You remember?
I remember. I've heard so many stories.
So the Dynamite sought to get some clarification on that matter. So he put it to Mr. Harry Zako, the champion chairman, they call it. Now look, some players said they are yet to receive proper rewards for their CAF Champions League win. Now let's hear the response Mr. Harry Zako gave the Dynamite. Let's listen to chairman of Accra Sports, Mr. Harry Zako.
It's not true. You can't even invite her to our dynasty. We gave them 100,000 each.
At that time,
Jacob Nete, all of them.
100,000 each.
Dollars. We
Each.
couldn't go to the World Cup.
Yes.
To the Africa.
Club World Cup. Yeah.
Yes, we couldn't go, but we got 3 million. And really, me and Atu, we shared the money. And we gave everybody 100,000.
All the players.
All the players, 18 players.
So what was this thing about? Some of them say they didn't receive any money.
You should come forward and tell me who allocate Jacob or is it allocate something? When they approach and say, you didn't take your money. Did you take your money and you traveled to London? I asked him that question.
So it's not true.
It's not true. I would tell you it's not true.
That the boys were not paid.
You can invite my treasurer, Maxwell Ado, and he will tell you the truth.
Well, Nathan, you see, wait. You see, for those who don't believe that this is the voice of Harry Zako, this is champion chairman. If you know Harry Zako, this is how he speaks. Harry Zako says he paid every player 100,000 durable United States dollars. Yesterday, when they arrested that boy, Padama, his accusers came. He said, I gave him $9,000, fresh notes, fresh notes. Mr. Harry Zako says he gave the players $100,000, fresh notes. No, Nathan, let's listen to champion chairman again. Let's listen to champion chairman. So if anybody says they didn't receive the money, this is what champion chairman had to say.
One.
That is in the late Atamo's time.
Yes. Was it true that some of the players up to today did not receive their winning bonus?
It's not true. You can't even invite her to our dynasty. We gave them 100,000 each.
At that time,
Jacob Nete, all of them.
100,000 each.
Dollars.
Each.
We couldn't go to the World Cup.
Yes.
to the Africa.
Yeah, Club World Cup. Yeah.
Yes, we couldn't go, but we got 3 million. And really, at all, me and Atu, we shared the money. And Niaibon, we gave everybody 100,000.
All the players.
All the players, 18 players.
So what was this thing about? Some of them say they didn't receive any
They
money.
should come forward and tell me who allocate Jacob or is it allocate something? When they approach and say, you didn't take your money. Did you take your money and you traveled to London? I asked him that question.
So it's not true.
It's not true. I will tell you it's not true.
That the boys were
You
not
can
paid.
invite even my treasurer, Maxwell Ado, and he will tell you the truth.
Nathan, you see, what I like about this interview is that he mentioned witnesses. So we should go and ask Atu Ahoy.
Yes.
Atu Ahoy is alive. We'll go and ask him. Maxwell Ado is alive.
Okay.
We'll go and ask him. Unfortunately, Nia Ibonte is not alive. So he may not be able to.
Did they confirm that?
But but Nia Ibonte is Bese Manche.
Yes, he's basically Manchester.
He's the late.
I remember there was a statement that came out initially when the rumor started to circulate.
Yes.
A statement came out saying that but why are people saying
He's alive. Okay, fine.
Me, I don't
Okay,
know.
so we'll go and ask him.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll go and ask all of them. If indeed it is true that they were part of the money sharing. You see, do you know, Harris Akko said, here and Mr. Ahoy, they share the money. They share the money to the players. You see, he said they share the money. They share the money to the players. 18 players. So Samir J should come and tell us whether he received $100,000 or not. James Nano will come and tell us. Jacob Neti, who was the captain,
Yes, Jacob Nete was captain at the
he will
time.
come and tell us.
Yes.
Ajimandria, Sani Wahab, Dan Kwe, all of them. You see all these players, they are around.
This is what 2000.
2000, Emmanuel Kuvo, Ishas Alote.
Ado.
See, he's the one they were looking for. Alote, Jacob, Achas Alote.
Yeah.
He took the money and went to London. So a chairman said it to not me. Edmond Copson. You remember Edmond Copson?
I remember Edmond Copson.
Edmond Copson, player.
Charlie
Yeah.
loves to shoot from
Stephen
range.
Tete. Emmanuel Ajogu.
Classy defender.
Emmanuel Ajogu.
Ajogu, I remember.
All of them.
Yeah.
They took $100,000. Ismail Ado. He too took the 100.
Baby-faced, yes.
Chastela played, right? Was he part of that team?
Chastela played in that game, yes, because in the
yes.
final, I remember in the final,
Yes.
he had his jersey got torn. It was yanked by an Esperance player.
Very good.
So when he came back in the second half, he had to be tied in this very crude
Chastela
way.
has been in the media. He's been very vocal.
Yes.
Did Chastela receive $100,000?
We'll have to find out because Mr. Harris Akko is very confident. He's standing on
With
business,
witnesses.
as the Gen Zs will say.
With witnesses.
Yes.
That he paid the players. And we are trying to establish connection with Amanko Amriku. You know, these days he's a reverend father. Oh, is he not?
Yes.
So as for him, when we get in touch with him, he'll tell us the truth.
Yes.
Because see, men of God don't tell lies. You understand? So when we get Amanko Amriku, he'll confirm to us whether indeed they received the cash or they didn't receive the cash. We are trying to work the lines to get the House of Folk players side of the story because they brought the story to us. They went around claiming that if we had received $100,000, Anka Yabra Boni, you know, later. No, that's what the players say. So we want to know if indeed they received $100,000 or something else after winning the CAF Champions League in the year 2000. But Nathan, what have you picked up? Have you been able to pick up anything on what the players got that time?
No, it's still quite shaky, or is we are trying to figure out what the players earned. A lot of the players, or some players, have stated that they didn't get anything. I remember in 2011 when Hearts of Oak turned 100.
Yeah.
Right, I think they played the Nugu Rangers or so, and some of the players who played for Hearts in the year 2000 stated that they had not received anything, and they figured that with Hearts of Oak turning 100, they were going to be financially rewarded. Okay, for all the things that they had done for the club. So that's the thing. We are, as you said, we are trying to work the line to see if we can get Yaman Kwamreku to speak with us. He was part of the team, and he can confirm whether or not the players received something from winning the CAF Champions League. As I said, I do remember hearing some people say that Hearts didn't gain anything, the players didn't get anything, and all of that. So Harry Zakor seems to believe that, or he is saying that the players were giving $100,000 each. So we'll have to find out.
Yeah. So yesterday I found a story on Ghana Web.
Yes.
Dates as far back as 2000. Okay. 27th November 2000.
Yes. What does the story say?
Now the story says $25,000 each for Hearts players. Now this is what the story says. Each player of Accra Hearts of Oak will be $25,000 richer if the Phobians win the CAF Champions League. This is the incentive handlers of the club promised the playing body, says Harry Zakor, the Millennium Chairman and CEO of Hearts of Oak. This is quite apart from the normal winning bonus and CAF monetary rewards. As professionals, Harry Zakor said, we have to show the players deserve what they work for. The Millennium Chairman is optimistic Hearts will grab the elusive trophy this year. This is 2000. November 2000. So it's interesting. So apart from the 25,000, there were bonuses that were due them.
Okay.
And of course, there was CAF monetary rewards that again was going to be shared to.
Okay. Let me read you another story. This time it's Charles Taylor.
Okay.
Who was speaking. Now this story is on Ghana Web. It was published on February 8th, 2026, earlier this year.
Okay.
Now, the story says former Ghana international Charles Taylor has revealed that the management of Accra Hearts of Oak made big promises to them ahead of the CAF Champions League final against Esperance of Tunisia in 2000. According to Charles Taylor, Hearts of Oak players were promised $25,000 each as winning bonus before their game against Esperance, but they never got the money. Quote, they made a promise to us when we went to Tunisia for the first leg. We were told each player will get $15,000 if we win the game, end quote. Taylor said in an interview with Sporty FM. However, Charles Taylor said the money they got for defeating the Tunisian side to secure Hearts of Oak's only CAF Champions League title was not more than $1,000. Quote, we won the game, so we were all planning on what to use our money for. But we didn't get it after winning the Champions League. The money we received after completing the assignment was not more than $1,000. End quote. Right? Now, there's a video attached to it. It's a TikTok video shared by Don Samawan Videos.
Okay.
And I see Charles Taylor seemingly in the studio having a chat with Fifi Bansin.
Yeah.
And from this video, even though it's muted, you can tell he's talking. And the video caption is, Hearts of Oak management promised each player $25,000 ahead of the CAF Champions League final against Esperance. Charles Taylor.
Well, chairman Harry Zakor says he gave them $100,000. The players say they didn't receive $100,000. Hopefully, we'll get in touch with some of the players and know exactly where the truth lies or who is telling the truth. Is it the player? So our producers have tried to reach some of the players, but attempts have been unsuccessful. Hopefully, once we touch base with some of the players, would bring listeners up to speed on developments and matters arising from that conversation. But yesterday, Harry Zakor said a few interesting things. How happy he was that Togbe Afede was managing the club. He believed that, look, but for Togbe Afede, Hearts of Oak would have been dead and all. I mean, quite an interesting conversation there. But and there was one other thing he said. What did he say about Carlos Queiroz?
I've seen the quote saying that Carlos Queiroz was too old. I'm yet to hear the audio part, but those were the code cards. He's saying that Carlos Queiroz was too old.
Too old to coach the Black Stars.
I guess that's what he meant. But he was saying that Carlos Queiroz too old.
Wow. Well, Harry Zakor again, if you are reading Ghana Soccer Net today, they have the story. Harry Zakor urges GFA to consider Lai Kingston for Black Stars job. Michael Asaribodi is on the line. Michael, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Raymond, good morning and thanks for having me.
Great. Well, Millennium Chairman says we should consider giving the Black Stars job to Lai Kingston. Carlos Queiroz is too old to manage the Black Stars.
Well, I think that is his own opinion, but again, I think to a large extent, does not in any way affect one's competence in terms of national team coaching. I don't think it is tied to age. It is much more about competence and what one can offer. And again, how one updates himself or herself as regards the modern trends of coaching. You know, coaching evolves. And so along the line, if a coach is able to abreast himself with the modern trends of the game and then update his coaching philosophy to the extent that it is suitable and also it works in the current football dispensation, I don't think his age should be a determining factor in actually giving him a job or not getting him the job. So I don't agree to Harry Zakor's assertion. If he had raised salient points regarding why he thinks Carlos Queiroz is not competent, maybe his tactics are not suitable to the current playing body and what they are capable of doing, maybe Carlos Queiroz's tactics is everything opposite of what this Black Stars team represent and what they want to do, or if he has stated perhaps that Ghana is seeking to build for the future and should not just be focused on a short-term strategy that will get us instant results or otherwise, and then in the long term, it will not play a part in how we want to build this team, then I think those would have been a bit concrete. But to just throw out a suggestion that the coach should not be given the national team job because he's aged, because of his age or because he's old, I don't think that works for me. But then again, this is his opinion, and then I respect it. My interest actually goes to the comments about the $100,000 US claim. I think it is a bit contradictory, like yourself and Nathan have tried to do. I also found here a certain article in which Mr. Harry Zakor, who was in the Sporty FM studio yesterday, spoke to the GNA Sports, and this is dated the 16th of January 2001, and he said that House of Folks prize money for the CAF Champions League trophy will be ready in 2 months' time. He was speaking in January 2001, so the assumption is that by March 2001, they were expecting the money, and he went further to say that it is from this money that the players are expected to receive $25,000 that is promised each player for winning the cup. And so in quoting the words of Mr. Harry Zakor, he says that, start quote, "We have given everybody what is due them. Players yearly and winning bonuses."
Michael.
Yep.
Hold your thought for me. On the winning bonuses, we are joined on the line by former House captain Amankwa Miriku. So hold your thought for me. Let's have that conversation and then come back to continue the discussion on the matter. Captain, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. How are you doing these days?
Grace has found us.
I hear these days you are a reverend father or you are a pastor.
We are still holding on to the faith. That's what I can say. we are still holding on to the faith, putting our trust and everything in the Most High God.
Great. It's good to have you. Good to have you here. Well, we called you to clarify a very simple matter for us on the show this morning. Well, yesterday we had a conversation with Champion Chairman Harry Zakor, and in that conversation he was asked to respond to claims that players who won the CAF Champions League in 2000 did not receive their bonuses. They didn't receive their full bonuses as promised. Now, can you confirm to us whether indeed you received your full bonuses after winning the championship or not? Because Harry Zakor confirmed yesterday that you received, all the players, 18 players received $100,000. He and Ato Ahoy made sure all the players received same. Can you confirm that claim for us?
Thank you, and good morning to your listeners. Boss, it's very, very unfortunate. Very, 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 very unfortunate for our father's Millennium Chairman to, they pass that comment. It's very, very unfortunate. Because, you see, the Sisi Bansin and others were very close to us when we were playing the Champions League. Very, very close to us. And, you see, he was asking him, many times, you said you gave them. You said yes. He said you gave them because Mr. Bansi knows that he's a blatant liar. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? For you, even 10% of that money wasn't given to us. So it's very unfortunate for our father to make that that comment, pass that $100,000. Hey, boss. And then we that's the 4 battalion squad. All of us should have $100,000, and we'll just be working like that. We'll just be working there like that. It's very unfortunate, and also lying this kind of, passing this kind of comment with that bitter lie, mentioning our most honored patron Ato Ahoy. It's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. And you see, we have to take this matter very serious and sue Harry Zakor. We have to sue, because this is a defamation of character. It's very, very unfortunate for him passing that comment. You know what I'm saying? Very, very unfortunate for such a huge figure to come and pass this comment. It's very unfortunate.
Now, let me ask you this: what were you promised when you were playing the Champions League finals? What were you promised before the Champions League finals or all through the competition? What was the promise made to you?
Yeah, they made a promise to us $25,000 each if you're able to win the Champions League. That was a promise made to us. And boss, they didn't give us that money. Then again, at that time we'll be there in camp. Then they say, Charlie, there's the money has come. Oh, they said we the playing body and the world and the late Jews and the Tekka team. They have given us $30,000, and all of us have to share. And I could remember, Usman Amadi, was my roommate then. And so I was in the room when Usman came, in his hands having $180. And it's like, I'm going to this, the man I go. I said, what kind of money? He said, oh, the man that they say we are sharing. $180. And he was crying. Boss, have you seen somebody being given money and he's crying before? Why? So you see, I don't know why Millennium Chairman should come and pass this kind of. I don't know why. I don't know where. I don't know. At that time, I don't know what he was thinking, or I don't know whether he's forgotten where he was sitting. It's very unfortunate because this one is not about Sporty TV or Sporty, radio. This is the whole world. I know as far as that your network goes, and it's the whole world thing. So it's very unfortunate for him to pass that comment. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And truly, something that is a lie. A lie can be foolishness. You can put it as foolishness. If somebody is lying, it's foolishness. It's very unfortunate for him to pass that comment. Very, very unfortunate.
Let me ask you this. Could it be that some of the members of the team possibly received 100,000 on your blind side, or in fact, almost everybody can confirm that they didn't receive $100,000 from Harry Zakor? That is
another intelligent question. You see, that time Jobeto was our captain. So it might be that maybe for Jacob being the captain, maybe they gave him that money and share the that remaining to us. Maybe. So maybe if you could call Jacob Neto, who was the captain at that time, maybe there was this communication between the management then and him. Maybe. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, as far as Osekufo, I can give Osekufo number to you and call him from the US and ask him. Osekufo has even, made that comment that anytime he comes to Ghana, he's going to take that money, that's $10,000. And we are complaining about it for many years now, and then we complain about it, and that has been made. I'm concerned that money, and then our father will come and pass these comments. Boss, our families are listening, our relatives, our friends, our neighbors are listening, and therefore, if this comment is passed, and then it's like it's very unfortunate. You should have made that comment at all. This is I don't know how to put it. Very, very bad. So I think we have to see him so that you go to the court and go and go and prove where am I coming, because now I mean, out of what he said, that means I have a building at East Legon. I have one Tazako. Because he said we make properties. That's what he said.
Yeah.
We make properties out of that money. Yes. So I didn't know if it's not yesterday that our chairman made that comment. I didn't know I was having a building in East Legon, or maybe I have one Tazako a building, or maybe in a cantonment. Why? You see, why should he make that comment?
Now, Amankwa, so after winning the CAF Champions League, making everybody happy, all the fans you got, all the support you got, how much did Hearts of Oak reward you with?
There wasn't any reward, boss. That's what I say. They promised us the $10,000. It wasn't given to us. And therefore, later they told us, oh, it's about percentage. They didn't say they will give us 25%, but it's about percentage out of the money that FIFA will compensate them. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we'll be in camp and then they say, some money has come, maybe they have given us $30,000. That $30,000 should be shared among like 50 people. Because at that time, we the players, we are almost, let's say, maybe 30, right? We have a technical team, we have team manager, we have welfare, we have porters, and so on and so forth. And so, but boss, can you imagine? That's what I'm saying. That way even told me this morning that, Captain, I did not even receive $1,500. And even in that was percentage money. Even our late father Jones, also one way or the other, how he even shared the money was totally wrong. Because all of us, whether you play or not, you are part of the team. And so for me, if it's even about percentage, the money should be shared equally.
Yeah.
If somebody should get 1 cedi, I'm not because we should get 1 cedi, completely should get 1 cedi. Let's all share among ourselves because all of us have worked for it. But then he also, shared it by, matches played. It's very unfortunate. Matches played. How? Why? So then, if that be the case, then you, the coach, you shouldn't have, have all those, players being at the bench. Because if you think like, the whole game was played, the whole competition was 11 players, then you shouldn't have, added those reserves. Yeah. But they are all part of the team, and we have to award them as well. That's what I'm saying. So for him to even also share that money that way, I didn't even agree with him at all. It's very unfortunate. And then with all this, we are still kind of, I would say, I will put it in that context that we are mourning about this money. And then very unfortunate, our millennium chairman, it's very unfortunate. Seriously, it's very unfortunate. But then, at least for me, we have to take this matter up. Right. Because it's what? The information of Canada. That thing I've not done. You are telling me I'm a thief. What? I'm not a thief.
Yes. Now, Amangwa, having not received your reward after helping Hearts win that elusive CAF Champions League, are you and your colleagues, do you feel bitter towards Hearts of Oak?
No, because you see, I can't be on this platform and say that because of $25,000 that I was promised, I wasn't able to, make life. No. I can't say that because the money that through Hearts of Oak and through our big men, pass through my hands, is more than the $25,000. So I can't take that $25,000 and be grieved about the team. No. For me, I will always appreciate Hearts of Oak for God using Hearts of Oak as a vessel to bless me. because as of now, I'm still, enjoying, that kind of laurels that I took for the team. I'm still enjoying it, and so there's no way, just that we are human, and therefore, definitely we'll sometimes, once in a while you remember. That's what I'm saying. But then it doesn't mean I have to be grieved because I wasn't paid that money, and therefore House of Folk should be my enemy. No. House of Folk will be forever, remain my name because Yamakwame House of Folk. If I like it or not, House of Folk has become my name.
Right.
Including my family. Yes. And so there's no way I will stand anywhere and be ungrateful to House of Folk. Never will I do that. Even him and Rizako. And what? All our big men. We are very grateful to them. But this one dear, it's very unfortunate.
Right. Amankwameku, Heart of Folk, new season, new coach, a few players coming in. What are expectations of Heart of Folk this season?
Unfortunately, I don't have any expectation. I don't have any expectation. You see, I don't know how. We talk about direction here. And then, after our era, we have our chief Togbe to, take over. And as of now, always is about direction, new direction. And I can't fathom what kind of direction are they
taking
putting in place.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because how can a club, such a club, like huge club like Hearts of Folk, that was rated the whole world, not Africa, the whole world was rated 8, including Rema, including Basa, Komini. House of Folk was rated 8. And then now this same club is struggling to relegation. This same club have for almost 3-4 seasons now have not played the season that a coach should end with the team. The coach should be sacked before the league ends, and then they hire a coach once recruitment has been done before the coaches come. How can you handle? So is that how Esperance and Co do? Is that how they handle the team? Boss, Esperance and Co, 14 years, nobody has scored them in their home. They have been lost in their home.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, House of Folk went there and won. 14 years, nobody has scored them. We went there and won by 10 against 11. And so is it the same team, House of Folk?
No.
No, so it's very unfortunate. And you see, let me chip in this one. You see, we talk about this $10,000 for many times, many years now.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to order. But you see, Toby Man, through our efforts, that Toby Man was bought.
Right.
Through our efforts, that the secretariat was what?
Built.
Was bought. Okay. It's our chief. Is he using that facility?
No.
No, he's using it.
Okay, no, not Harris Akor, right? The Togbe.
No. Yeah, exactly. He's using it, right?
Yeah, that's correct. He's using
Thank
it.
you. Did the client administrating bought it?
Yeah.
When is it by it, right?
Yeah.
But then he has what? Inherit that.
Yeah.
Why is it that our money, that's $8,000, he's not trying to inherit it? But it's a common sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, Captain, you're on.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say that if you're able to inherit property, and then you're not able to inherit debt there, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah. I understand.
Because, exactly, because the Champions League, the cap is not in Amakwameku's household.
Yeah.
It's in the secretariat. Exactly. It's for Heart of Folk. It's not for Amakwamegu. So if you're able to inherit property there, one would be able to inherit debt. And not even paying that $10,000 each. But I say, Charlie, I heard, because you have inherited Polymer and Secretariat, I heard, your previous business, blah, 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 administration, blah, blah, blah. So for me, yes, I can't pay the $20,000, but I want to compensate you guys $5,000 each. It makes sense. This is human.
That's true.
But then that one there, they've not heard about it. But then the problem there, he hated the secretary. He did that. No, it's very unfortunate. And then we are mourning our past. I mean, money, and then unfortunately, our father will come and pass this comment. But we have to see him.
Right.
We have to see him. Yeah.
Amankwa, my producer wants me to ask you if Lodi Efia Amankwa Mreku, the University of Ghana South General Secretary, is your daughter.
If he forgive me, I was trying to be ungrateful. Forgive me. First of all, I was trying on this platform. Sporty, please, how should I speak? Sporty what?
Sporty FM.
Radio or what?
Sporty FM.
Sporty FM.
Yeah.
Sporty FM. What? You guys are marvelous. I sent you my daughter's name. She is my second born. Not the same Kwame. She is my second born. And for you guys to, be part of the winning team, I just have to appreciate you guys. I'm so grateful. Amankwa family is so grateful.
Thank you.
She won with a wide margin, and that has never happened in the history of UG. It has never happened. And so, what I will stand on this platform and say, God bless you, and make your platform the highest of all.
Amen.
I'm so grateful. Amen. I'm so grateful. She's my second born.
Okay, right. We wish her.
I don't know whether if you guys, some of you are interested. You come. Me. I don't give you. I don't give you. Me. When you want to marry my daughter, I don't give list.
Yes.
You just have to find me 2 female cows. And then 1 minute. Okay.
So my producer, he can hear you. So they'll do the
I can see that for him there. He's very interested.
Yes.
He's very interested. So I think let him know that there's no list. Only find me 2 female cows and then 1 male.
Thank you very much. We wish her well. Tell her we wish her well, and congratulations to her once again.
Thank you too.
Captain. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. We wish you well.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day, Captain.
Thank you.
And that was former captain of Accra Hearts of Oak, Amankwa Mreku. And I mean, it was quite a conversation. He made some interesting revelations there. And Yao Amankwa Mreku says promises were made to Hearts of Oak players, but in truth, those promises were not honored by the administration. And so claims that they received $100,000 after winning the CAF Champions League, as claimed by Mr. Harry Zakor yesterday, does not have any truth in it. Again, there's Harry Zakor on one side, there's Yao Amankwa Mreku representing the players on the other side, and they say they did not receive any money. I have another former Hearts of Oak player who was part of that team. He was a defender in the squad, Dankwe, on the line. Let me speak to Dankwe and see if he possibly received $100,000. Dankwe, good morning to you and welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Fine morning.
Dan, are you comfortable with the English or we can speak Ghana?
Both of them.
Okay, so you can mix it up for us. So yesterday, Millennium Chairman said after winning the CAF Champions League, all of you received $100,000. In fact, 18 players received $100,000, and he shared the money to the players in the presence of Mr. Ato Ahoy. Can you confirm to us if you received $100,000 after winning the CAF Champions League?
No, they are lying. They didn't give any player $100,000. The only money they give I receive only $2,000. Even they give us first time they give us $100,000. They said we were supposed to go and play the World Club Championship, and he couldn't come on. So the compensation money that they give them, that's why they share a little for everybody. And they said we should wait. Later they will give us the rest. up to date, they haven't given us anything. So they are lying. They didn't give every player $100,000.
But how much were you promised?
We promised after they said when we won the trophy, they will give each player $25,000. That's why they told us. But those days, they couldn't make any agreement form on it. That's why. But I don't know. Me like this, I don't know whether they did some maybe some paper on it. But they didn't give each one $100,000. They are liars.
So that's the compensation money. How was it shared?
Yeah, that's why I told you.
Yes.
They called us and they told us the World Club Championship couldn't come on, so they want to compensate each club. So they give them. We didn't know the amount that they give them. All of a sudden, when they came and when they call you, then you come and sign. Then they give you. Me like this, I received my first $1,000.
Okay.
Because they share the money according to the matches you play. Even up to my colleagues, they didn't have almost they didn't receive more than $2,000. Me, I received only $2,000.
Okay.
So what are they saying?
So
they shouldn't let us be hungry. They should keep quiet. It's gone. So they shouldn't come out and say some certain things that will provoke us.
Now, let me ask you, when you were going for that money, so was that money shared in the presence of Harry Zakor, Mr. Atu Ahoy, and...
No. They brought that. I think that time we are playing so much in Accra, and we were camping at a men's room. Okay. So they bring the money. I think they give the money to the team manager. I think that time is either Sabakwe or I think it's Sabakwe. It's a long time, so I forgot.
Yeah.
So when you go to his room, then you sign. Then they give you your money. Yeah.
So there was no point where you, Dankwe, met Harry Zakor and Atu Ahoy for any $100,000.
They are big liars. They shouldn't lie because Masa, they like Ghanaians too much. That's how the big men in Ghana they are. Which Harry Zakor can give me Dankwe $100,000 for it. Even when you go to him, the money that he give you, it doesn't reach 5,000 Ghana cedis. What are they saying? They shouldn't let us be hungry, Masa.
Dankwe, what are you still playing football, or these days you are just taking a break from the game completely, or you are into coaching or grooming some youngsters? What are you doing these days?
I'm not in coaching, but when I saw a up and coming player, I used to encourage him. If I can find some team, then I find him, so that he need to start his career. So I have about 4 or 5 players. I gave them to first division and second division. Then they are doing well small. So let's hope.
Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you this. Hearts of Oak play Kotoko tomorrow in the Democracy Cup. Hearts of Oak have a big season ahead of them. New coach, new players coming in. Your expectations, how will the season go for Hearts?
Master, I don't want to go there because this current management, they don't respect with the legends. So I don't have any problem with them. So I don't think about their club. The only thing I came and do my job. That's why, because of the good job I did. That's why people been calling me for interview and things. After these people, because if you are working with somebody and you retire and the person doesn't respect you, how can you go to the person? So I don't follow them. Yeah.
Dankwe, a big thank you to you for joining us on the show this morning. We are grateful for your time, and we wish you well. We wish you well.
Okay.
And that was Dankwe. He played in that 64 battalion. He was a member of that CAF Champions League winning team of Hearts of Oak in the year 2000. And Dankwe, interestingly, yes, he was also a member of the Black Stars team that participated in our first World Cup in 2006, and also he was a member of the Ghana National Under-17 team at the 1997 FIFA Under-17 World Championship. So Danko is a very well-known name in Ghana football, and he says, look, nobody gave them $100,000 for their heroics in 2000 when Hearts of Oak won the CAF Champions League. There's a lot more we'll be talking about on the show this morning, and I'm sure the reactions would keep coming. The former Hearts of Oak players would keep reacting. The reactions would keep coming, and so maybe later on Sporty Drive, we'll get to hear a bit more on the developments with regards to Harry Zakor and his claims that the players received $100,000. And I've just been prompted, alongside his teammates, Kwe received a Grand Medal of National Honor from His Excellency John Ajikun Kufuor for Ghana's achievements at the 2006 FIFA World Cup. This is still Sporty Breakfast. You're live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Michael Asaibuedu is still on the line. I'll go to Michael quickly before we jump straight into the Champions League discussion, and then talk about a few transfers that have gone through and transfers that are still in the pipeline. Well, Michael, if you can hear me, let's talk about Champions League football. But before we get into Champions League football, you were having your say with regards to the $100,000 that Harry Zakor claimed the players received. We've received two separate accounts from two former players of Hearts of Oak who were part of that team. What do you make of everything we've heard this morning from the former players? Michael, if you can hear me. Okay, I think Michael is not on the line, but once we re-establish connection with Michael, I'm sure he would share his thoughts on that matter before we go. But let me bring you up to speed on what we are expecting later today. At 5 p.m. today, you have the UEFA Champions League phase draw happening in Monaco. Now, 36 teams have been put in four groups of 9. So you have Pot 1 featuring Paris Saint-Germain, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Inter Milan, Manchester City, Arsenal, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid. In Pot 2, you have Borussia Dortmund, AS Roma, Sporting CP, Aston Villa, FC Porto, Manchester United, Club Brugge, Real Betis, and PSV Eindhoven. And Michael has just joined us, and so I'll get to Michael in a bit. In Pot 3, you have Feyenoord, you have Lille, there's Bodo Glimt, Napoli, RB Leipzig, BRL, Fenerbahce, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Galatasaray, all in Pot 3. And then in Pot 4, you have Slavia Prague, Slovan Bratislava, VfB Stuttgart, AEK Athens, LASK, Como, Lens, Vikings, and Saba. These are the teams that would be grouped, or these are the teams that would be playing in the league phase of the UEFA Champions League 2026-2027 season. Michael, good to have you back. Now, Michael, you had from the two Hearts of Oak players quickly before we get into the Champions League draw and what the draw dynamics would look like. You had Yao Mankwame and you also had Dan Kwe. Both players say Hearts of Oak did not honor the promise they made to them prior to winning the CAF Champions League.
Well, I think they've done justice to the issue. So on the basis of time, I think we need to move on. They've explained everything, and it actually captures what I was about to say, because even the official accounts from Mr. Harry Zakor, as far back as 2001, there was no mention of $100,000. It was $25,000. So that's it.
Now, Michael, UEFA Champions League, I just went through the 4 pots that the draw would be conducted from. Can you take us through the draw dynamics, what we should expect, and which teams would most likely face each other, which teams may not face each other with regards to the format for the draw?
Well, before we go into that, maybe we need to also highlight the Norwegian teams and their rise in European football. As we speak, there could be a possibility that we will have not less than, let's say, 3 or 4 Norwegian teams playing across Europe. In the Champions League, it's confirmed 2 Norwegian sides will be in there.
Mm-hmm.
There is Bodo and there is also Vikings as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And if you observe the trend, it means that year after year, the performance and then the appearance of Norwegian teams in Europe keeps increasing. It started with Bodo. They were making the Conference League to Europa League, and then they made a wonderful journey in the UEFA Champions League last season. This time around, they have returned to the league phase, and they did not come alone from Norway. They are coming with another Norwegian side in Viking. As we speak, there is another Norwegian club that is Lillestrøm. They are playing in the Conference League. I stand to be correct.
I think they are playing in the Europa League.
In the Europa League,
yes.
There is another Norwegian side in the Conference League. So clearly, I think it is good news
so
for Norwegian
in the Conference League, there are 2 of them actually. There's Brann, who they are playing the home leg against PAOK. First leg was 1-1, so they have home advantage in the second leg. So potentially we could have Brann playing the Conference League. And then there's Tromsø. Now, Tromsø held Brighton to a goalless draw in the first leg.
Yeah.
Brighton have a home game in the return against Tromsø. But if Tromsø are able to do the unthinkable, they could also finish in Conference League places as another Norwegian team. For Lillestrøm, they play Ignatia of Albania. That game is currently 0-0. If Lillestrøm win at home, then they also stay in the Conference League. So it's a good time, really a good time for Norwegian teams in Europe these days. Yeah.
Exactly, and it means that all other teams being equal, in an ideal situation, we could have like 4 Norwegian clubs in Europe this season, and that is very, very positive. Maybe we need to one day critically look at what they've done to get to this stage. But to the UEFA Champions League draw and what we are to expect, this is the league phase, and per this system, the draw will be done partly manually because there will be balls that will be physically drawn from bowls, and then it will also be done partly digitally, and that is through a designated automated software. And so it will be explained in this manner. There are 4 bowls that are prepared for the draw, 1 for each of the 4 draw pots. And so each bowl will comprise 9 balls containing the names of the teams forming the pot. So pot 1 will have 9 balls containing the teams in pot 1. Pot 2 will have the same. Pot 3 will be the same. So in pot 1, a ball will be physically drawn at random from that bowl, and then it will be open to display the name of a team drawn. Now, once the name of the team is displayed, the automated software will randomly draw 8 opponents for this team. 2 from pot 1, 2 from pot 2, 2 from pot 3, and 2 from pot 4. So if I am the one conducting the draw and I'm supposed to pick 1 ball from pot 1, the moment I pick the ball and I reveal the name of the team, then the digital system or the software will randomly go through the remaining pot or go through all the pots. So the digital system or software will select 2 teams from pot 1 that I will face, 2 teams from pot 2 that I will face, and will be same for pot 3 and then pot 4. Now, once that has been done, then I will know the opponents that I will know. But the random process will select the home games and then the away games. And the order allocations of the opponents will start with pot 1, 2 opponents. Then it will be followed by the other pot. It will be done in a descending order. The software will then draw the possible valid opponents from all the pots, respecting the above mentioned procedure or the criteria. And then it would also showcase which ones will be the home matches and which ones will be the away matches. And so it will be done throughout. the respective ports. So we will satisfy all the requirements in port 1, then you move on. So by the time it is exhausted, every team will know the fixtures they will play, and it will be 8 games for all the teams that are involved in the UEFA Champions League. So basically, in brief, this is how the procedure will be like. Pick a ball from a pot, review the name, and allow the software to randomly select the opponent and reveal the opponents you'll be facing, and then the respective home and away matches.
Michael, help us understand, how the decision to how we arrived at the teams in the various sports.
So it is mostly done by the UEFA coefficient in terms of your performances. And so the Port 1 has teams that have, in the coefficient period for assessment, have been able to tally a certain number of points to place higher on the UEFA coefficient rankings. And so Paris Saint-Germain, by virtue of winning last season's Champions League, and then also having a higher coefficient number, they will be placed at number 1. Bayern Munich is second on that list, and it follows in that particular order for their respective teams that are in Port 1. Then in Port 2, it is similarly done in that manner. Now, the coefficient need to tally with your league position, because if you are ranked higher on the UEFA coefficient ranking and you fail to qualify using your league route, then it means you cannot be in the Champions League. So you will not be classified here. So it is likely you might have a Chelsea as part of the top 10 ranked teams per the UEFA coefficient. But since they did not qualify for the Champions League, they will not be here. So they will not be considered. So first of all, you must qualify for the Champions League, and then to be classed in the port and then be grouped according to your ranking, would have to refer to your point tally per the UEFA coefficient ranking, and then it will determine your placing as in respect of the port, and then also in regards to where you actually occupy in the port. So if you take PSG at 1, Bayern Munich 2, Real Madrid 3, and it follows that order. The 9 place teams, top 9 place teams are in Port 1. Then it is followed by the teams from 10 to 18 in Port 2. Then from 19 to 27 in Port 3. And then from 28 to 36 in Port 4. And so in Port 4, you have the teams that don't really have a higher point tally per the ranking. And those are the teams that occupy the Port 4. Sabah FC from Azerbaijan, they are the last ranked team here. And they have not been able to tally enough points to be even considered. So you will not necessarily find them there. But this is after all the classifications, and they put them there. And another perfect example will be Como. This is their first ever appearance in Europe. So in terms of the UEFA coefficient ranking, they have never even tallied any marks, but they qualify by virtue of their league. So after assessing all the teams, unique cases like Como, like Viking, like Sabah FC would then be classified as per their lowest ranking or pedigree, and that is where they will be found in Port 4.
Michael, before we, say anything about the draw itself, Slovan Bratislava are in there, and yesterday, if you monitor most of the portals, the story was around Yaya Toure being the first African to get a coach into this stage of the UEFA Champions League. It's such a big deal, I guess.
Yep, very, very huge. It's actually someone I was monitoring. The first leg ended 1-1, and yesterday at certain stages in their game, it was still 1-1, and I felt I really wanted them to make it. Yaya Toure has always been someone who has shattered the barrier for many African players in a certain contest. He had ambition. He was fueled by a certain drive to prove a narrative against African players, and also the mentality wrong. He was always aspiring for excellence. So it was going to happen one way or the other that he would want to take up such a mantle and prove himself worthy. And it was going to be difficult for him to get a job in mainstream Europe, let's say in France, in Germany, in Spain, in England. It was always going to be difficult because black coaches or coaches from the BAME sector, they don't really get such opportunities. So you have to go start from that place and then also push yourself into the conversation. And I'm very happy that he has been able to achieve that. How far can they go? I think for Slovan, this is one of their biggest achievements, and they wouldn't care whether they progress from the league phase or not. By qualifying just to this stage, you would have to understand what it means for them monetary-wise. They will make a lot in terms of their finances. It's very positive. If they are lucky and the draw will pit them against some of the big teams, and they happen to host some of these big teams, you can just imagine the match day revenue that they will rake in. So this is very positive for them from the financial point of view. Then the sporting point of view, they also get to audition themselves and prove themselves worthy of playing against some of the best teams across Europe. A trip to the Bernabeu will be historic for them. A trip to the Camp Nou will be historic for them. The same applies to all the other top teams that are in the competition in Pot 1 that Slovan Bratislava are likely to face. So I am very happy that this is happening to them at this point in time. And it is all remarkable that an African is behind the story. I think the Toure brothers have given to football far more than perhaps we have envisaged. Kolo Toure was a winner as a player. He's also started his coaching. He's had stints at Celtic, has stints currently with Manchester City. You only hope and pray things will work out for him when he becomes the main guy at the club. For Yaya Toure, he also decided to have his playing career take a different path, but he fought his way to the top from Greece all the way to Spain, coming to England. He's achieved. He's seen everything. Ensure that Ivory Coast won the AFCON before he left the national team. These are all positive things you can say about his playing career. And it is interesting that his brother took the earlier step. His brother took the first step ahead of him in their playing careers. But in terms of coaching, it is the younger one, Yaya Toure, who has taken the first step in full-time management ahead of his senior brother. And I'm very happy that he's been able to chalk this very, very positive stuff.
Michael, what are you expecting, from tonight's draw?
I don't want to see Real Madrid-Liverpool again. I think I'm tired of that fixture. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see Real Madrid-Liverpool. I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see PSG Arsenal.
Yeah, again, I also agree. Because for 2 consecutive seasons, we've had PSG facing Arsenal. Although they have happened during the league phase ones and then also in the knockout phase. It's happened. I think PSG has played Arsenal 3 times, if I'm not on 3 different occasions. One had to do with the final. Then there was a semi-final clash between the 2 teams. I stand to be corrected. And then a previous league phase clash as well. So 4 times since this new format came into being. So we don't want to see such fixtures. There should be refreshing fixtures around them, and let's see what becomes of it. But I want to see Aston Villa back in the Champions League, what they will do. Then the almighty Manchester United and Michael Carrick, on their return to the biggest stage in Europe, what do they have to offer? A lot of talk has happened since their first game. I want to see them getting favorable draws. I want to see United playing against Barcelona again. I want to see United taking a trip to the Bernabeu. I want to see them against some of the best teams. And it would also be an interesting side to behold. So, yes, I want to see refreshing fixtures, teams getting to play each other, bringing back their old stories, trying to rewrite history, giving us different scripts to make the competition exciting.
Michael will be keeping an eye on that draw at 5 p.m. Later on in the day. But Michael, let's go into the transfer market and then speak about 2 developing transfers. One, Bradley Barcola to Liverpool. According to reports, there's an agreement in principle. And I'm going to ask you, why do Liverpool need Barcola and what would he bring to this Liverpool team? And then the second would be discussions between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid over the possible transfer of Julian Alvarez. Now, according to Barcelona, or according to Atletico Madrid, there's a 0% chance of the player possibly signing for Barcelona. But again, we are told that Barca Chiefs and Atletico Madrid Chiefs will be meeting in Monaco later today to see if they can reach a resolution over the transfer of the player to Barcelona. Let's quickly go over these 2 before we take the show home.
I think with Barcola, I am a bit shocked as to how Liverpool have pushed to get a player like him into their fold when they are looking to replace the impact of Salah. When I talk about impact of Salah, I'm talking about goals and also chance creation. And Barcola is the last player on the list you want to consider for efficiency. Yes, he's an exciting talent. He has a higher ceiling. He's still young, and so there is a lot of potential in him that can be polished. Then you trust Andoni Raiola to tap into players and bring the best out of them. He's done that very, very well at Bournemouth, his former club. We all know the story of Antoine Semenyo, also the story of Ryan, who even joined the Bournemouth project at a very early stage, but he was still able to tap something into him. And I think the most important one to highlight will be Junior Krupi, who also had a breakthrough season last term for Bournemouth, all under Andoni Raiola. So he's a coach who develops, he's a coach who brings the best out of players. But if you clearly study Barcola and what he's about, maybe he will not give you what Salah offered. And is Liverpool trying to take a different approach? But where exactly does he play? Because the best we've seen from Barcola is that he's effective mostly from the left wing. Yes, he can play from the right wing, but he's very efficient from the left wing. Already, Liverpool have enough cover from that position. There is Rio Ngomoha who can play from the right or the left. There is Cody Gakpo who can do a job usually from there. Federico Chiesa did not make their first squad in terms of the first game that Liverpool played against Newcastle United. But if you're adding up and you're paying as much as £120 million, that is huge for a player like Barcola, who has still yet to develop to the kind of player that we expect. I don't know, but there are a lot of unknowns around this transfer. I think Liverpool have been beaten to it by PSG. They've been made desperate enough to the extent that they are overpaying for a player like Barcola, who is purely potential and talent, and not yet the finished article. And if you're paying such an amount for such a player, it also adds a lot of pressure to him. And I think it compounds the worries for Andoni Raiola. Already there are attackers in the Liverpool team who have not come full circle yet. Alexander Isak is yet to find his rhythm. We have not fully discussed the Florian Wirtz operation, and these were expensive operations that Liverpool embarked on. And so if you add another to the mix, it makes the whole situation a bit difficult for the coach, because he now needs to play and then get the results, and he also needs to develop expensive buys who are yet to settle or adapt to the club. And I think it's a tricky situation. Let's see how far it'll go, but I'm intrigued already with the money that Liverpool are paying. And then to the Julian Alvarez operation, again, it is an interesting mix. I think the player and then his agent did not really conduct themselves in a dignifying manner. They've made things very complicated for themselves. Again, what was the thinking behind committing long-term to Atletico Madrid? Because you don't want, as a player like Alvarez, who is very ambitious, you don't want to commit totally to a club like Atleti when you know that eventually in the future you have your eye on clubs like Madrid or Barcelona. Again, they keep saying they had a dream. Alvarez says his dream is to play for Barcelona. Barcelona is his dream club. I think that any player who has such an intention will be very keen on negotiating this into your contract, maybe inserting a certain clause that allows clubs like Barcelona to have you for a specific fee, or to ease way for negotiations between you, your camp, the club Atleti, and then Barcelona, who will want to sign you. I think that should have been considered. But you don't go wholeheartedly to Atletico Madrid. They don't invest that heavily into you, give you their everything, and then you turn around when Barcelona registers an interest and then act like this. I think that is very, very poor on his part. And I am not so pleased with the attitude that is displayed. But he's a quality player all the same. He's very, very important. If Barcelona are going to get him, he will definitely take the attack to a different level. And but it's unfortunate that circumstances prevailing means Atleti are not willing to engage. And it has forced Barcelona to have their own president react to this development. It should tell you where this has gotten to. At this point in time, the whole development is more political than sporting. And I don't think that there can be headway anytime soon. I think the more realistic opportunity is that Julian Alvarez apologizes to the Atleti family, to the club's hierarchy, to the fans, play for one more season, but he should plead for audience so that they can mend the fractured relationship and then find a solution at the end of this season. But for this season, I don't see him exiting the club to Barcelona. If there will be any transfer, it will not be to Barcelona as a destination, to another club perhaps.
Well, we'll see how things go in this particular transfer window. We'll see how things end for Barcelona, especially with regards to their pursuit for Alvarez. Michael, let me say a big thank you to you for joining us on the show this morning. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get into the Democracy Cup, Kotoko Hearts. You'll bring us up to speed on how preps are going and what to look forward to in that particular game. And also, we would review the Champions League draw and other matters arising in the transfer market. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll catch up again, God willing, tomorrow morning.
All right. Thank you very much, Raymond, and have a nice day.
Great. Have a nice day too, Michael. And that was Michael Asarigwedu joining us all the way from Sporty 91.3 FM in Kumasi. And, just like we've said, a lot has happened in the world of sport over the last few hours, getting into some of these matters. And I think we've done justice to most of the developing stories or the news stories over the last few hours. Let me see if I can open the phone lines. If my producers would allow me. There's Inside French Football in the next 15 minutes. I don't know if I can open the phone lines. My producers, okay. Otherwise, just give me a few messages. Let me get into a few of your messages. 0542 571 0542 571 I think I have a caller on the line. I've not opened the phone lines yet, but I have a caller on the line. Well, let me get into a few of your messages before. Okay, let me get onto the phone lines. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning, Ray.
Yes, sir.
This is Anubio McCarthy.
Anubio, let's hear you.
I know Nathan has left you because he will come back for French football. So
yes.
we understand. You see, why are football administrators becoming like the real politicians we know? They should separate the difference. They should make the difference. They shouldn't make the football politics look so real, like it's a normal politics. Why would you disappoint boys and come back in over 20 years and then lie upon them as well? A dignified person like you, we all have respect for you because we know we love our team. We know what you people put together with you together with this man, Bese Manche, as well as the other guy, about 3 or 4 of you, what you did for the team, we appreciate it. But to come back and lie on these guys who sacrificed and did all this for the club, that is not fair. You see, your words against all of them can never be true. Because the boys are the ones who received the money. At least, when one came up, he said he received $2,000. It's nowhere close to 100,000. Why would you come and spew such lies on a big platform with Mr. Banton, who I know he knew that they haven't paid, but he wanted you also to come out and speak it by yourself. Because at that time, he was close to the players. They were traveling all together. So he had an inside information. Why would you still lie after 20-something years? There are so many ways to kill a cat. You can tell them something, come up and give yourself a good reason that the money wasn't paid to them. But to come back and lie like this, I mean, for your own boys to come up and tell you straightforward that you are lying, Charlie, it's very unfortunate. And this is too bad for him. Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Thank you very much, Anubio, for joining us on the show this morning. You can also give us a call, 0542-571-061, 0542-571-061. When you come online, make your point quickly, and then we move on to the next caller. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ray, Emmanuel on the line.
Emmanuel, let's hear you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing something. I can't complain.
Great. Let's hear you.
This morning, so interesting. I don't get some of these administrators. I come and sit on live radio. That's a big platform. And I don't know what they think when they say some of these things. Like, they think that the players can't come and talk, or these are family people, these are good men. See, listening to Dankwe, see, the man was so pissed off that if you see the chairman, what you would do to him, I don't think he will even like. Because from his tone, you see that this man is pissed off. Like, these people have family. And their family is so, wait, you took some money like this and you are striking like this on this. Actually, sometimes I don't understand this. Some of these people, I don't understand them. Anyway, you don't give the person money. You come and say you give the money. Why would you do that? What will you, as a big man like this, what will be tarnishing your own image? And this is so bad. It is so bad. So you promise the players something, you fail to give them, and you come on air and come and say you give them.
Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Have a good morning.
Have a good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. 0542571061. Let me pick my final call before we go. 0542571061. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Ray.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
John calling from Casa.
John, let's hear you.
Yesterday, I listened to the show.
Yes.
And Mr. Harris spoke with confidence. Mr. Watson asked him, are you sure? He said, yes. And called out people that he should ask. Why are those people? I think those people must also be called. But for me, I believe this because of Amankwameku. Once Amankwameku has come out to clarify the air, to clear the air, I believe it. And Ando said, football administration didn't behave like, politicians. But Ando has forgotten. Harris is a politician.
Oh, okay.
Have a good morning.
Have a good morning too, and thank you very much for joining us on the show. Let me read a few messages. Before we go. Yes, producers, let me read a few messages. Let me pick my final call. Good morning to you. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Raphael. I'm calling from North Legon. Other people call me Vibes. Yeah. I've been listening to your show for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
You guys have been talking about our pitches, like the football administration and even the sports administration.
Yeah.
Even we have two types of politics. So we should separate the football politics from the nation's politics.
Right.
Yes, because I'm so sad. Sometimes yesterday I called on I think IFM. They were talking about our pitches. That is these pitches that we are using it to come and play AFCON qualifiers. And even if you go to BBC website now, it is there that 2038 Ghana is hosting World Cup. What infrastructures and facilities do we have?
The 2038 is a prediction.
No, like they said it that 2038 Ghana will be hosting it. It's not a prediction.
Oh, I mean,
they said it.
Nobody
2034.
Nobody has given Ghana the rights.
Yeah, 2034 is Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
so definitely.
Nobody has given Ghana the rights to host any World Cup anywhere.
Oh, but you see, I saw it there. So 2030, I saw 2034 there. 2034, Saudi Arabia, and 2038, Ghana will be hosting it.
It's not true. It's not true. Don't pay attention to that story. Yeah.
So I was asking myself that. So if this one could have happened, what infrastructures are we having?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show this morning. And I will not pick any more calls. Let me read a few messages. Good morning, Raymond. Wishing Man United the best of luck in the Champions League draw for Accra Sports Stadium. Football should not be played there until it's rebuilt. Sports Messiah from Amasaman Fise. Let me read another message. Producers, get me another message. Okay. Yes, I have another message coming in from Hala Bosu from Adabraka. He says, good morning, folks. I hope you guys are doing well. Any updates on Jamal Musiala's health? Okay, we'll get that for you in a bit. And final message. Let me read my final message before I do this. Let me remind you that if you have to go out and feel confident, if you have to go out feeling confident, Rexona Duo Spray is made for you and it's made for motion. Now, Rexona's Motion Sense technology has microscopic capsules that sit on your skin and burst with friction as you move, releasing extra burst of freshness for every step you take and every move you make. If you have to go out smelling fresh and feeling comfortable, choose Rexona. Choose protection that moves with you. Tamala Voyage is taking you to the Gambia. Yes, this summer Tamala Voyage is taking you to the Gambia. Every package is discounted and includes round-trip flights from Accra to Banjul, 3-night hotel stay with breakfast, city tours, airport transfers, and security fees, and a special BBQ dinner by the beach. Enjoy the sun, the palm trees, the beach vibes that await you at the Combo Beach Resort in the Gambia. Single. If you are single and you want a package for yourself, it's 15,566 Ghana cedis. If you are double, it's 27,000 Ghana cedis. And if you are going in a group of 3, it's 38,920 Ghana cedis. Packages are available from June to October, with December packages coming soon. They also organize individual corporate packages with guided tours, and you can also request for a package to be worked on for you separately, and just all you need to do is to give them your dates and how you want the package. Now you can give them a call now on 025-630-8402, 025-630-8402, or you can follow them on their Instagram page at Tamala Voyage Accra. It's a verified Instagram page at Tamala Voyage Accra, or you can follow them on Facebook, Tamala Voyage Ghana. Book your summer getaway now with Tamala Voyage. All time would allow us on today's edition of the show. But before I go, my very good friend and brother, Ohene Bampo Brenya. Ohene Bampo Brenya wants to, with a very heavy heart, announce the passing of his mother-in-law, Madame Beatrice Judith Appiah. She was 75. Now, funeral arrangements are as follows. Friday, 28th of August, 2026, burial service at St. Paul's Methodist Church, Tema Community 1. Interment would be at Community 9, Attire is black and white. And on Sunday, the 30th of August, 2026, at the Gethsemane Methodist Church, Bachona Spintex Road, they would have the Thanksgiving service. Attire is all white. Ohene Bampo Brenya is one of the executive members of SWAG, former presenter, Happy FM morning show. And of course, he's a colleague, and so he's inviting all our colleagues in the sports space, to all our listeners, to all well-wishers, all family members, that the burial service of the late Madame Beatrice Judith Appiah, 75, will happen on Friday, 28th of August, 2026, and all other arrangements would follow after that. We wish the family well, and in this very difficult time, our condolences go to the family of the bereaved and everybody involved. Ohene Bampo Brenya, take heart. We wish you well and stay strong, my brother. It's a sports funeral, as Immortal calls it. At 10:05, we bring you Inside French Football. At 12, we bring you the news. And then at 4 p.m., we bring you Sporty Drive with Kosi Fiaka. And then European Nights at 7. But at 5, we'll bring you the UEFA Champions League draw. Yes, the league phase draw will be at 5. And then there's European Nights at 7. And then at 10 p.m., we'll bring you Ball Up Top with Winston Michaels and Rondo. Kofi Broadcasting, I couldn't read your message, but thank you very much for sharing your message with us. You spoke about the stadium and everything. Kofi Broadcasting, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us. Up next is Inside French Football with Nathan Kwao. Keep listening to Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Sporty FM, we are the voice of sport. My name is Raymond Yamado. Nathan Kwao brings you Inside French Football in the next